Here we have Arena Bot, which is, as we know, Melkor Smurf. He plays with it on stream, so we can guarantee it is. Also, I don't think he's ever hidden the fact. I don't know much about player 7 in this case. There's a slight rumour it's metal, but I don't really know. All I can say is that these players in these 4 games have taken at least 1 game from each other. I don't know much more on that. I just saw that and I thought that's probably going to be good enough to spectate. I looked at the game stats to make sure they're good games to cast, and that's about as far as I went. I don't actually know the score myself. So we have 4 games today. Melkor vs. We're just going to call him Red Eye Demon for this point, or we're just going to call him Red. It's kind of like Dire backwards for them as Red, but you know, he's pretty lucky in that regard. Ethiopians vs Turks. These are some pretty good powerhouse civs. Ethiopians are not all too bad. Of course, crossbows, really nice opening for Ethiopians and pretty devastating to the Turks if done right. Looking at Melkor's map over here, we can see 4 back deer, gonna be a nightmare to push, don't know if he wants to, and somewhat straight, I guess that's probably okay. Nice extra gold in the back, a really nice safe main stone, which is quite good if he needs it. Probably towards the end of the game, when he gets towards the Turks. Of course, Turks with their cheap free bomber cannons. Well, not cheaper, but free with higher HP, faster training, with the free chemistry, I mean. Main gold in the back, really nice and safe. It's pretty good. He has a decent bit of gold in the back. Second gold, second stone and second gold outside. His other second gold is also outside. So it's not too bad of a map. He does have a nice safe main gold. 5 tiles is more than you need. And of course main and an extra is also pretty good. And having some deer that are inside is just so much more motivating. Both born inside as well, he's not going to be lame this game. Taking a look over here at player 7's base. Player 7 of course being grey. Don't know much about who this player is or how they're going to play like. But that's some pretty nice positioning of the woodcutters there. That makes me quite happy to see. Main goal, pretty bad. Of course, he's Turks. He's probably going to be planning to play aggressive. He's not going to plan towards that Turk late game, which we all know is maybe not the most ideal. As long as you have gold, it's really strong, but when you run out of gold, if you're denied your golds, then you have a huge problem. Main stone in the back, second gold in the back. And that's okay. It's nice to have a safe main stone just in case you're trashed by certain civs, which may happen. This is Arena with an E, so 900 HP walls, not 1800. So his gold's maybe not so great, but he has a nice safe stone, so maybe he wants to go Janissaries or some form of that, like Janissaries be really quick up to Imp, for example, and then just quickly survive with that. Go away, Bibli. Don't quite know what kind of build order he's going to go for over here, but I'm just assuming it's going to be Janissaries. He might also go full in, we'll probably see who it is if they do. We know it's Eddie for a fact. If it's it goes like all in, tries to run like 7 castles off 5 farmers. I'm going to assume that the player here is going to open with map control. Of course it's Melkor, so we know he's going to do that anyway. He's going to try go for the low risk map control, which you get really good value out of. But was he going to go crossbows or scouts? Because he goes scouts with civs that you would expect to go crossbow with. We're going to really see what the amount he puts on gold here, because usually if you want to go crossbows you do 3 on gold in Dark Age, because that way you get archers out going up, which is really nice. Taunts are not going to work in game, so I'm just going to have to manually taunt. But yeah, so I would assume he's probably going to go crossbows is what I would go in this situation. I feel it would be quite appropriate against the Turks, especially Janissaries. Janissaries still kill crossbows. But you know, if you get the mass up on them early, you might be able to start working on them, especially because it's pretty difficult for Turks to add in mangonels with their Janissaries. They do it, but it really requires a hefty 1 TC eco. So if you're able to mass up the crossbows early on, get your own mangonels to kill their mangonels while you drive away their Janissaries, of course Ethiopian crossbows probably pretty good at that, then you might be able to beat by the Turks, have a decent eco. Maybe 2 TC, definitely not 3 TC unless you know, they let you get away with it. But we're gonna have to see here what the Turk player plans on doing. He's actually bothering to push those deer. I forget which ones I'm a woman. Is that 80 or is that 70? I think it's 80. And it looks like pretty standard Janissaries over here, 28 plus 2 more than likely. Oh, he is going to go on gold. I thought he was going to do some sort of Cellstone stuff, go on gold later. Okay, fair enough. 28 plus 2 Janissaries, pretty standard here. Nothing unique about that. Both players clicking up at 28 pop. That's of course what you always do when you're in the situation. Only 2 on gold. What I have seen Melkor do is he goes 3 on gold if he's going for crossbows for map control, but he goes 2 on gold and then adds more later if he wants to go fully into crossbows in Castle Age. Not just for map control, but like actually just go like double range crossbow. So this cannot be very indicative. I can see him maybe going scouts. But of course scouts are not going to win against free light cav if they are going light cav as Turks to get map control. And of course Janissaries, the scouts are not going to be helpful, and the mass knights are not going to be helpful either. So yeah, I would be expecting crossbow, but if we see scouts, again, semi-expected, but I don't really personally see how well it's going to work doing that. Was he on wood 10? Decent number of farms, he might be planning to go scouts. It's probably a little bit more on farms than I expect at this stage. Usually you would wait to, especially being Ethiopians who don't even need to go on gold in the first place. Range, there we go. Okay, going pretty well. Ethiopians is a little bit difficult to judge because obviously you don't want to be on gold because you need to get relics. It's kind of important to get relics as Ethiopians, you are quite gold reliant. At least during the early stages of Imp. And I would also definitely say you really just want to have the gold to take the map control, because going raw boom doesn't often work unless you have a godlike map. This map's pretty good, you could probably do a raw boom. Like 24 plus 2, because of course you don't need to go on gold if you're not planning on spending it. And yeah, have a really easy time. Ethiopians are really strong in arena just simply because the boom power and of course the crossbows and arblast really help you towards the early game. Especially towards the late game when they do have good hub combinations, especially if they have low gold. On the very late game, not early game, but quite late, then they have things like seed rams which are really gold cheap. They have halberdier, which of course is really cheap, and they get a free upgrade towards that, so it's quite easy for them to go into. Enough talking about the Ethiopians. So the Turks here, they have many options. They could go light cav, they could even go CA. They could try to get towards Imp, where they have some of the best heavy cavalry archers in the game. Some of the best. It's debatable what you're really looking for in a cav arch. This is pure luck. I think player 7 hit first though. Doesn't matter so much when you got crossbows from map control anyway. Ah, of course, having only 2 on gold instead of 3 in the Dark Age when you're Ethiopians makes more sense. No point in wasting extras on gold. Here's 8 on wood with 2 lumber camps. That's pretty hefty if you're going to just go Janissaries. I'm also a bit surprised about his farm count holding that much wood. I think he's really just going to stay 1 castle Janissaries and then just go mangonels with it. Does he think he has... I'm assuming he thinks he has map control because his scout... I guess that's fair enough, it does protect gold, but I'm not entirely sure why he would get loom in that case. Panic wheelbarrow, panic house. Scorpion's perfectly fine, it does actually do some decent damage to the crossbows. Of course against crossbow mangonel it doesn't work too well. He really needs mangonels of his own if he wants to be able to start fighting off the Ethiopians in this case. So Monastery up. Possibly 3 TC coming off this. He's going to go at least 2 TC right away, but I think there's a good chance he might go 3 TC. Of course, he's spent, you know, a good like 200 wood on crossbows so far, so can't afford another TC right away. He's spending it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That wouldn't be in range even if he had Bodkin. Roast. I reckon we're going to see probably 4 to 1 relics for the Melkor player. Well, Melkor here. Not the Melkor player, that's just outright wrong. And there goes the light calf. Still in the second TC, he's not adding a third one yet. He's getting Bodkin though, he definitely wants to kill the Janissaries. He's going to go for a fast siege workshop though. Of course, no redemption for the Ethiopians. I actually think it's possible for the Scorpion to be sniped here. Ethiopian crossbow is just that much stronger. I think this is probably going to cost him the crossbows. No, the Janissaries just seem to be missing far too many shots, but these guys are all like one single Scorpion away from them all losing. We don't know who this player is, but I heard a slight rumor it's Metal. And when I say slight, I mean it's like someone who like is credible but doesn't really know. It's like some vague memory it might be Metal. Looking at his push, looking at the conversation these players have been having, I think maybe. Oh, and he is going 2 TC. I thought you'd just be focused on going Janissaries plus Mangonels. Siege Workshop coming up for the Ethiopian player though. I think he might do some kind of like... Oh, he went 3 TC. But I think if the Ethiopian player keeps on the crossbows like he is doing, he's doing really good. Adds in some ups quite fast, gets to Arbalast, he's gonna have a really good time. Crossbows are nice in Castle Age, but without really good knights. Yeah, I know, I had to apologise for that. It's a pretty loud fan that's gonna be on for probably another 20 minutes or something. But welcome to Scotland, where the weather makes perfect sense. It never has. Not too much on gold, he's not going to aim too fast with this rate, he's going to try snipe some relics out here. Oh, that monk, how did that get there? So Mangonel's now out, so the Scorpion's no longer a problem, and there's definitely enough crossbows to take out the Janissaries for the Ethiopians. He's not going to get there in time. If he notices it's gone, deletes the tile, walks through here, would be a lot more intense. Yeah, I think we're going to see 4 to 1 relics from Melkor here. Where was I? Maybe not the best trades. Still a reasonable trade in terms that he gets away with the relic, but I think these, no, they're not quite full HP. If they were full HP, I think they'd be fine to just kill the crossbows. It would be a worthwhile trade. Monk expanding out there. He does know this relic's here, and he does know that he took a relic. That has predicted 4 to 1 relic ratio. I'm kind of expecting a second range to come out soon though. He's probably going to start piling on the gold now to try and get up quickly. He has a decent number of farmers, 23? No, 29. About 30 farmers with a 3 TC boom when you've got a civ that's, you know, really going to be focusing on not food units like Arbalast. Then, you know, 30 farms is really fine to get up with when you have handcart. But he's only now just getting wheelbarrow pretty late. 2 Mangonels, quite a lot of crossbow. He has a couple of monks, which is going to be quite helpful. It's not really too much in the way of areas they can pressure here. Of course, you can't pressure by the gold because the castle doesn't quite, you know, cut the bacon in terms of distance here. This could be pretty difficult. We do see a 3TC economy up for this player. Decent amount of gold, he didn't buy his way up. Of course, Turks with their faster gold mining, he's had quite a lot on gold because he's been going Janissaries, adding in some monks to get relics. And a smart move of back monastery as soon as possible. That's something we don't see too often these days, people building back monasteries when all the relics are forward. Of course, it is pretty suicidal to have this monastery here, and then if you get pressured by like a really quick boom like a 3TC, you just lose all your relics. Both players now just clicking up at the same time. Red Eye did indeed buy his way up. Everything now has depth. I got like a new pair of glasses and I could actually see things. It's pretty incredible. I think this is a nice area to pressure. I don't really know what we're going to see here because I think we're going to see Arbalest from the Ethiopians, but I'm not sure if we're going to see a bomber cannon war behind that. And I think we're going to see some very continuous unit decisions from the... Is he gonna go Cav Arch? Or is he just gonna like try mass Cavalier? Maybe Cav Arch. Cav Arch, of course, quite strong against Arbalest, although Ethiopian Arbalest, you're talking about a huge amount of upgrades you need before you're able to take that on. Little Archer Armor focusing into the Arbalest again. Siege Workshop not running, so I'm guessing the CG is going to go with would probably be BBC. He could mass Siege Ram. Siege Ram would work. Population wise, both players are actually pretty somewhere in the boom. 83 Vilsa, 789. But 19 military to 8, of course, decent bit stronger military, but it doesn't have any siege. These crossbows should be able to wreck this, especially when they get Arbalest. Thumb Ring now coming in, and ballistics. Fletching, is he? Yeah, he's gonna make Cav Arch, but I don't see Cav Arch working too well in this situation. They're just gonna be too slow to get the upgrades to be able to start fighting Arbalest. Chemistry should be coming in, I believe. That's not even the right hotkey. Capture Ram, oh, he is going to go for Siege Ram. Okay. Siege Ram does work. It's a decently fast Arb Ram, especially against the Turks. Turks can't really fight the Arb Ram too well without basically their own better version with a Cav Arch Ram. The Cavalier against Ethiopian Orbs, just not going to work. See some bomber cannons being added. Yeah, ballistics is really helping. So we're going to see some bomber cannons coming out for the Ethiopian player. Oh! I never noticed that. The Turk player got artillery. That's a tech you don't usually see every day. +2 range in the bomber cannons and +2 range in the bomber towers. Not seen bomber towers being researched by our Turk player here though. Resource wise, he's looking pretty scant on the gold. He's only got 4 tiles in the back if he gets pushed off this. 3 almost fresh tiles there though, if he can take that in time he's gonna have a lot of gold. Selling a lot of food. He's going to try and make Heavy Cav Arch happen, but Leather Arch Armor Ballistics, this still isn't enough upgrades to make this work, especially these Rams. But, you know, the BBT is amassing, BBC, sorry. Yeah, it's just not enough mass. I think the Turk player can't produce the army he wants to fast enough to be able to counter this army. Quite a bit of Arbs lost to the BBC though. But here comes the Rams, and he has 3 BBC and 1 Mangonel, and that's not going to tank these Rams. This castle will go down I reckon when he sees workshops are going to go down, then the Turk player might GG. His resources not looking too good. He could throw up one more siege workshop, maybe two, and then a foreign bomb cans after that. Any kind of siege to deal with these siege rams. It's not happening. Don't see. Well, he does have a stable, just to get his cavalry upgrades. You know, possibly bloodline husbandry. But that's just not going to work. Right now, the siege rams alone are winning. Deny gold, he's now only got 4 tiles of gold, 3 of which are nearly empty in the back. These cavalry are going to be pretty strong when he gets upgrades, bloodlines, sure. But he needs Parthian, he needs Ring Archer. And basically, I don't think Sipahi is going to be happening. Maybe he meant to get Sipahi and he got artillery. That could make sense. The one relic he does have is about to go down. We're going to see a monk come forward for the red player here, I'm assuming. Okay, he's going to be building a castle over here to take a bit more map control. Start taking this gold out here. He's got the map control, so he's going to make good use of it. Doesn't know about the extra in his back. He doesn't need it yet, so he's not taking it. Smart enough move. Save it for when or if he needs it. Cavalars just aren't able to deal with the siege ram. They can't deal with the Zorblast, they're firing too fast, they're basically machine guns at this point. Mangonel down, but more rams in on the way. Randomly made a Mangonel, but that's fine. And the economy here is just going to be sat on. He is 115 villagers, a little bit underboomed, but he's not losing as many units with 160 population. Meanwhile, for the grey player, we're seeing 190 pop total and only 115 total population. His military is to the ground, 100 villagers, steadily dropping. The Arbalast are dying underneath the castle fire, the BBC fire, CA fire, but the CA are now dead. The military is now 6 for the grey player. And we're already still at 26 with most of the Arbalast again for the red player. I like the Scorpion edition, it's always nice to see someone with crossbows, but you do need to invest all the extra wood you have into something like Mangonel, so you could have a nice Janissary Mangonel push. And maybe not spend on extra TCs. Booming after the fact against Ethiopians doesn't seem like the best idea in retrospect, in my opinion. But yeah, map control taken, put to use. Both players did to and from with the map control there, that was pretty nice movement. I'm quite happy. Content watching this game. So just while I'm at it, because I usually forget, I'm going to quickly change the score. Wherever the hell that's gone. Here, maybe? And we're going to go for a really quick 2-minute interlude so I can go for a piss. But after that, well I mean before that, let's check the achievements. I always forget to check the achievements, they're quite important. Largest army 50 to 25, the 25 was definitely the CA at the end there. Just not enough. Again, no heavy cav arch, no Sipahi, no Parthian, no ring archer armor. They just didn't have the upgrades to take on this Ethiopian Arbalast. Decent bit more gold collected for the Ethiopian player, even though he's not Turks. Turks had the gold mining bonus. Primarily because of relics. I'd imagine it's like 3k relic, 2k relic gold. Yeah, 1.75. Not bad. Similar villager highs. Similar times. And again, similar castle times. This is looking like a pretty close game. So I'll be back in 2 minutes. And I managed to sit back down just in time. I always need to rest my throat. I'm not actually going to ever hope anyone repeats that. That could be taken out of context. So jumping straight into game 2 here, Arena Bot, aka Melkor vs Red Eye Demon, who we're not entirely sure who is. We are dealing with the Khmer vs the Celts. This is an insane matchup, simply because the Celts should on paper really win this, but the Khmer early economy, maybe that could grasp it back. Also, don't forget, Khmer, not bad monks. They get up really fast because of their economy bonus, which is they don't need buildings to click up. They save lots by basically not having the wood. They don't need to build the market or the blacksmith. So they could do, for example, a 26 plus 0, which, you know, is a 24 plus 2. If you smushed, what's a common population to go with for a very fast smush with a low economy. But, yeah. Really nice civ, but it can taper off in the late game. I'm assuming this player is metal, just based on that trash talk right there. Return to the game. I need to stop reading the chat, it just distracts me every single game. Over here we have the Celts. Celts are a really strong civ, especially towards the later game, which of course they could really snowball towards. They might have slight problems in the earlier game, just simply because they have a good boom, but they might be, you know, weak to maybe monks. And various other reasons that you might consider Celts to be maybe not the strongest civ. Looking at the Celt player's map, main gold pretty forward, not ideal, 2 seconds outside as well, so unless he has extras in the back, his gold is terrible. He might want to be quite aggressive, maybe something like Pikeman Mangonel. That's the kind of thing I would consider just seeing these golds alone. Looking at stones, main stone, pretty bad, but it is at least away and some kind of different view from his opponent, so, you know, not the end of the world. And to save second stone, at least he has something in the back. Those deer are going to be a pain as well. He has to play very aggressive, especially with this map, because it's actually quite difficult to do all too much. You gotta remember, Celts do have really good mangonels for defending with, but if you're getting something like Khmer, Redemption, it's gonna be difficult. You can also go crossbows. You put on early pressure with crossbows with Khmer. That's actually taps into a slight weakness of the Celts early on. But of course, then they can start defending with the siege after that. I'm not entirely sure what we're going to see here, but of course it's Melkor, so we're going to see scouts. Scouts are map control, maybe even light cav if he's not prepared. Celt player can't do too much about that. They can go, you know, decent light cav themselves. It's not really a worthwhile investment without the bloodlines. So, you know, if they do actually get into some sort of like cavalry fight, then that's not something he's going to try aim to get into. Pike Mangonel definitely does seem like a really good working option, especially if you could understand your opponent and you know your opponent's about to go scouts, as he does with like 99% of his games. We could also see a boom, but on this map, maybe not too likely. Safe stone for defending might happen. I wouldn't strictly boom on this map, but I would probably pull something a bit more Stefan-like out of this, where I would struggle 10 gold, I would start mining stone with 3 villagers in the Dark Age, and then I'll basically just 3 TC boom, and then I should be able to afford a defensive castle if I need one, if the player's going aggressive. I don't think that's going to work against scouts, because it's doing a similar thing and just delaying you having a really quick boom. So, who knows. What's going to transpire in the late game? Well, I'm not entirely sure. I'm not that convinced about Khmer's new Arbalast change coming into, you know, much use when it comes to these arena games. I mean, it could be possible. We could see something like Arb plus Bomber Cannon to try and snipe Siege Onagers, that kind of thing. You're going to have quite a lot of trouble dealing with the Rams as Khmer. Your champions are really subpar, your helps are not too good. Against Celts, you're not really going to have much of a late game. I mean, of course you do have good Scorpions, which eliminates Celt infantry. But they have really good Onagers, really good Rams that will just completely negate those Scorpions. I really do think we're going to see some early aggression here, though maybe some sort of like 2TC mini push. Maybe something a little bit harder than that. As long as you could get to Imp first, get Arblast really quickly before the Celt player is able to get up, get Archer running. Maybe he's going to have an okay time beating that one back. This is a lot on wood for Dark Age though. Maybe he's going to instantly 3TC boom behind making scouts. Getting like 5 relics almost right away is going to be, you know, pretty huge economy bonus. Later game, if you can force the Celt player to run out of gold, then you might have a slightly better chance if they're having to start making rams instead of making onagers. Your range units might survive a little bit better with a melee meat shield in front. I'm not entirely convinced of what we're going to see here. I don't really know, to be frank. Kelper's already 2 on gold, and he's already decently up to feudal 26 plus 2. Probably just a boom. Nine on wood for Kelster 27 plus 2 though, that's very Stefan-like for generic Civ. I'm thinking maybe he is planning to do something a little bit more than just boom. That's a decent amount of wood, especially for Celts. If you have 4 in each lumber camp for 8 in total, that's a decent wood supply already as Celts. Does anyone have any thoughts of what we might see here? That was natural Market Blacksmith. There's quite a lot of farms, of course he has Khmer, you can afford to make them. Yeah, I reckon we're just going to see scouts for this build. Alright, Castle H, 1 extra on gold, so he's probably just going to start trying to buy relics. Make monks to get the relics. With a single monastery, nothing special, but... I don't know. He's going to try to get away with the boom on this map. I'm not entirely sure if he's going to be able to. We're going to have to see. He's struggling some gold. Oh, of course he had to rebuild the tiles of wall. Always a smart move to struggle 10 gold if you delete 2 tiles of wall to lure in deer. That's why sometimes you see people build the house outside, so they could then patch that with a couple tiles of stone and then just struggle 10. Something I also like to do is I like to just put palisade on the outside tile, then a palisade on the tile I deleted, and then a house behind. For me that's usually like really overprotective. But saves a little bit more time. Obviously stable, he is Khmer. You can see crossbow for Khmer, you could also see Cavarch from Khmer. But Cavarch have not been in favour for map control recently. Oh, that's weird, the darker minimap red. That really does look black, doesn't it? On the minimap. The red dots. Monastery TCs. They're both equal in the scout fight right now. None of these scouts are injured, so I'm assuming that the Celt player does not know that he did go stable, he just admitted to it for no reason. Here we go, Monastery. And no extra TCs right away, he always says get heavy plow right away as well as bow saw. A little bit slow now in TCs, so that's perfectly fine. Just get a monastery up, getting even 1 relic is probably worth it. housed twice in 2 games. Who else gets housed this much? The only player I can think of is Melkor, and it's obviously not his Smurf. Like Cav, always throw. Okay. So one monster wasted, that did slow down the boom quite a bit. I feel maybe it's worth it, especially to get 5 relics. 5 relics to add a stable, add some food, be a bit late on another TCs. Push behind a couple of villagers. This is going to be quite difficult to pressure just simply because there's very little room between this gold tier and this wood line. Having some mangonels in this range, you're gonna kinda die. 3 like Cav wandering around the map. Wheelbarrow now coming in, he's gonna be... both players are gonna be 3 TC booming. We're gonna see how many more villagers to kill players ahead. Although he doesn't have Wheelbarrow. Each relic. I always view relics as basically 2 gold miners before you get upgrades like, you know, handcart, your gold mining. A relic is basically a post-temp gold miner, but when you're talking about early game, it's almost like 2 villagers. So if you're 10 villagers behind and you have 5 relics, then I view it as pretty equal early on, and then of course late game you're in a big advantage. So as long as you're not too many villagers behind, you're going to be okay. Both players have 3 TCs up and running. Let's just double check to make sure Kill didn't add a 4th. And of course there is a 8-ish villager difference. But of course, after Wheelbarrow, which is about 3 villagers, we're looking at about 5 villager difference. So 1 vill for each relic. I really don't know what's going to happen here, because it's going to be pretty difficult to gauge what the Khmer can do in the late game against the Celts. The Celt late game for most of us is hard enough to beat. Non-stone Tully's probably not going to go for some forward castle. I mean, I could go for monk pressure in this situation. I'm totally feeling it. Like, if you have a monster, you have 5 relics, you have reasonable monks, like, basically just have redemption and they don't, then, you know, getting Loon to have the 4 villagers getting hand cards, he's going to have quite good economy. Khmer, good economy, can't deny. Surprised he's not just adding in some more monks. This player wants to go something like Woad plus Onager, because that would work. I don't see why it wouldn't work. Even the Elephants wouldn't survive that, just simply because Elephants too bulky, too expensive, too easy to convert with generic monks with absolutely no upgrades. Let's just watch this light Gav get shot at. Ram? Okay, no siege. I was hoping for a ram. No, Maggie, no. Can't always be correct. Yeah, if I have 5 relics, I like to either then use that to buy resources for just a little while. You know, spend a little bit of time buying a bit of food up really quickly, Arbalast, that kind of thing, or I would buy a bit of wood to get my production buildings up to go full castle age, or I would usually, you know, invest the gold in something like Redemption, some really heavy gold techs. And then just go Monk, Mangonel, I've got some light cav, I have, you know, a decent number of units already on the field because I control map. Is he going to Mangonel this light cav? If he does, I'm going to just love it. Expanding out here to these extra golds, now he has a castle here to at least protect this one. A knight. Well, the Knights are going to be quite strong against the Wood Raiders. They're also going to be really good at raiding. Khmer to have a good economy, they have reasonable Cavalier. Oh, fully upgraded in that regard. Yeah, entirely. I was thinking infantry there for a second. But yeah. What does the... he has 10 watch and also he has this outpost here. At least I assume he has time watch. Is that time watch? I think so. Rip. Villager tried to just chop and struggle to get out. He knows about the knights, and that is huge. Bloodline's now coming in, probably going to invest heavily into the Castle Age. Is he gonna go champion? I reckon he's just gonna go like full knights and then eventually cavalier, and he's going to mix in sword line to be able to kill the halves. At 26 minutes though, I'd be pretty worried about my opponent having already clicked up. Yeah, there we go. 26 minutes, Celt player clicks up. He's been delaying it for a little while, but he did have to make the castle and secure the golds. So now he's in this pretty walled Nord castle coming up. There's no way to get through this. Of course, having the monk is a nice extra defense. Man at arms now coming in, so these knights are not really going to be used. He's going to go for the champion line. He's going to be clicking out quite late with this one. Now he has to worry because what has he scouted in terms of resources? Extra 2 seconds. Extra out of there. You can clearly see that one behind the TC. Yeah, what I'm thinking here is this is probably going to be a fight over the golds here just to hold a bit more map control. Maybe he wants to add in seed drums. If he could do something to prevent onagers, then seed drums might be quite good from the Khmer player. They do have siege engineers, their bomb cannon's pretty good. This is just asking for an Mangonel shot. Did you do something about cancelling man at arms? Because that upgrade's taking way longer than I would have thought it would. So we're going to see champions vs... I mean, 2 castle Wood Raiders is huge because Wood Raiders create really quickly. It's every 10 seconds before conscription, before elite. And that's really rapid. Now we're going to see barracks being added. He does have time watch, so I'm really going to assume he can see what's going on here. Managed to sneak an outpost here and over here. This is some really nice map knowledge. Just being able to see all the map like this, he knows everything that's going on. Especially seeing the racks. He might go his own champions. Even if he goes halves. It could be Miguel, no one really knows who it is. Gameplay style? It could be Miguel going by gameplay. But as I said, there's like, no one seems to really know. The theories is possibly metal, but you know, it could be. And RIP Monk. RIP Monk times 2. So now the both players are in, pronouncing 2-handed blast furnace coming in. Okay, yeah, I can see the champions working now, but the thing is, he now has pure vision that this is going on. I'm not entirely sure what his plan is going to be if he's going to be VSing this. Random elephant coming in, probably not quite deliberate. I don't know, full champion against Celts when you're looking at these economies, pretty much full boon for both players. You do have 5 relics, but of course they're not going to be spending too much if they're going their own champions or Wood Raiders. Elite Battle Elephant, okay, that is not a move I'm entirely expecting. They need hubs to deal with it, but the thing is, hubs are not too expensive. They just have barracks, they have a good economy. Like a really good food economy, which, you know, you can see here, pretty decent amount of food economy. Then mixing champions with hubs is not a huge problem. Better champions than this will kill these. And of course, hubs will decimate the elephants. Never paid attention to the battle elephants animation before. So what is this player going to do without the gold? He does have... He's going to be able to get this stone over here, which is pretty nice of him to be able to get. Having stones Celts, obviously. Having Wood Raiders, really nice versatile unit. And they're demolishing the two-handed swordsman. The elite battle elephant though, just gonna absolutely stomp out the infantry here. They do have reasonable attack, they're already elite. They don't have any attack upgrades, but 13 base attack, that's gonna jump up. I love the blue fire. It's a good colour. To be fair, I don't know why I have half the mods I do. Oh yeah, those elephants are shredding those. The hubs are not going to trade too well against elephants either. Of course, they're going to trade in the long run, in mass, they're going to trade well resource-wise, but early on the elephants are just going to be able to dominate them, and as long as the elephants can get the snowball from that point on, then it's perfectly fine. Still haven't seen a castle from the Khmer player yet. There we go, he's now building one. Building at home, he needs conscription, he needs tusk swords. That makes sense. Miguel 999 fan. Difficult combination for either player to really combat at this point. Both are pretty much going to be up there in the population. And this is notoriously difficult to push base, and now like things like Onager is now going to come out, so the elephants aren't going to be as effective at clearing up. Do we see chemistry? Do we see bomber cannons coming from the doesn't even have a siege workshop anymore, or university. 2 castles, is he going to plan to be getting pushed and then expand down this direction? He is really taking this map where he's got extra basically everything in it. Not a lot of food economy, I mean he has a decent amount, but not enough to really run elephants. From being enough TGs I know it takes to run elephants, and it is a lot. The Mangonels, of course, helping out in good trades. Yeah, looks like the Celt player kind of has this. He just wins by a marginal amount of troops, and there's nothing more a Khmer player could really do except try and repeat the same. Did I also think that forget that Khmer don't have champion? How did I forget that? What was I thinking of? Vietnamese? That makes no sense. Did you see that blue fire looks really unrealistic? As in, like, this is realistic when this is red fire. A big house on fire burning, but it still supports population. I'm only here for the realism, folks. And this game's looking pretty over. Siege Onager now coming in as well. 4-5 wall. Nothing can really stop this push here from the Celt player. He might just lose his troops here, just staying under the castle when the elephant's now coming out, but yeah, it's not much he could do. More units backing up. Military wise, it's now 51 to 31. They're not even good to what? What the Well, you can at least get siege engineers if you're going to go battle elephants, you crazy motherfucker. Oh, that's just insane to see someone go battle elephants, especially even just research elite. Siege engineers coming for both players though, the SO are going to murder this. Battle elephants are almost like scorpions that do 0 damage to everything important. How best so alone to clean this up. This economy is looking pretty good. It was untouched. There was pressure, but not enough. 3 cast. What is he doing? He does have 5 relics, so you can actually mass battle elephants if he so wished. Curious about his upgrades on them. They are fully upgraded. I love how we speed up and it's still taking 400 hours to get to the point. But with this castle down, it's only a matter of time for the next one's down and the economy's gone. Another castle? Come on. Elite elephants are not going to work. They do have some decent HP, and honestly with that Pierce armor they're really strong, but of course you're not dealing with Pierce from the Celts here. The range is pretty low as well, only 6 range after Siege Engineers gets the 9 of Siege Hunters, which have fewer Celtica. Well, I think he's just trolling at this point, although to be fair I have seen him use Elite Battle Elephant, Elite War Elephant as Persians before. And he did indeed lose that game. And just a couple of monks coming in is going to ruin this whole thing, because once these get converted then that's kind of it. Oh, except they won't be. They're just going to die to their oranges instead though. This is what I would describe as looking over. I wonder if there's enough bomber cannons on God's clean earth to be able to take out the Rangers. You need quite a lot. Like, if he had like 6 bomber cannons, maybe that would save him at this point, but he's a little bit late to the party with it. Lacking ballistics. He's expanding the economy out to this side just a little bit, but of course he's fine with villagers here, and he's not going to be able to get the stables up. If he loses farm economy here, which he has lost like a good 40 farms worth, yeah, can't afford to make elephants anymore. Very good save, but for the love of God, never make battle elephants, no matter who you are or what you do. Quick look at the achievements. Quick look at the units killed. We have both for the Celt player, of course. Celt player did have a lot of halberdiers which died. Decent few wold raiders did die to the elephants, but of course, when you're comparing this, like, this many units lost 229 when you think a lot of those are elite ballista elephants, which aren't even too cheap on their own, as well as a lot of elite battle elephants and a strange amount of two-handed swordsmen, then it's pretty difficult to think about. Lots of resources lost anyway. More gold for the player who had 5 relics, but it just wasn't enough to save him in the end. 4k relic gold, not quite enough. Similar full beams for both players though. I think the faster imp definitely helped him out here. I think maybe 2 TC might have gone a little bit better, so you go for a quicker arbor blast. That might have worked as Khmer, but as I said, pretty dubious. I would have gone BBC a bit earlier, but that's just me. So we're going to move on to the third game in a second. We're now looking at a 1-1 score, which is pretty good. That's what we want to see, even matches. So I'm going to be back in again another 2 minutes. And I am back. Moving swiftly on to game number 3. I click on the complete wrong game because I'm an idiot. Count number 2. Alright, jumping right to game 3. Mayans right away. You know when someone gets housed, they've got Mayans. Those sheep, that's not good. So over here we have our usual 2 players. We have Melkor vs a player which I'm going to agree with Arion on this one, where he accept his investigations as actual findings here, where he says that this player is probably Miguel. Judging by the fact that he signed up to the Arabian Cup, the Arabian Conquest 2014 using this profile. I don't know if it's true, but I'm just going to go with Arion on this one. First time ever. Lacking sheep here from Melkor though, he's going quite slow to that. Looking at his map though, Mayans vs Celts, might as well just be Goths. Might as well just type GG now and be over with. I'm going to keep this game on fast speed simply because of this. Main gold. What are we going to see? Safe-ish? Pretty safe, maybe? Main stone, it's in the back. It's not too safe, but it's in the back. We could say it's okay. Well, away from the opponent, we should say. Second gold in the back. Decent bit of back area, but it's a bit squished. It's going to be pretty difficult to fit any good farms back there. His map's not so great, I would say. Over here we have the beloved Celts for a second game in a row. And we are dealing with a reasonable map. I mean, he has a nice safe back gold. Oh, he has 2 extras in the back. 2 extras in the back is almost the same as having 2 seconds in the back. I know you have 2 tiles less gold, 1 less each, but this does mean that your opponent has no chance of accessing these, which does take away from them as well, so it can be really good, especially your civ that doesn't need gold too much. A civ that can use cheap siege like Siege Ram and gold free units like Halberdier as a meat shield anyway, then, you know, it's not a problem. We might not see Halberdier though. We're against the Meso civ, of course. We're probably going to see Champion. Again, Champions are not too gold intensive. Housed forever. Champion plus Onger, typical combination to destroy the mines. Mines can't really beat it. When you're on Arena, it's different than Arabia, because of course on Arabia, champions are really slow. Their mobility can be really exploited, like off Champ Onger, just in general, by things like Plumes and Eagles. But when it comes to Arena, and you're fighting over like less than a screen worth of distance, then, you know, mobility is not a huge issue. It's just really hard for the mines to even approach. You have to be pretty lucky, and the player has to, you know, be looking away at the right time for anything to really happen in that matchup. Oh, that deer. 25 pop up, but we're probably going to see some kind of real quick boom here again. Aeon Wood, he's doing what he did last game, except I think now he's going to do a similar build to what I was thinking he was going to do. I don't see mines having too much of a chance. You want to be up quite quick with Celts. You want to get your 2 TCs up extra if you're going to try and boom really, really quickly. Of course, his map is pretty safe. If he manages that, then he's going to have quite an easy time just boom defending. Of course, Mangonels against a mine player quite early is going to work really well, unless they go Siege Tower Eagles, for example. We'd always see Plumes as map control from the mine player, but you might also see just Eagles for map control. Also see crossbows, but it's not too easy. Arena bot is Melkor, the 2k4 arena player. He stole a sheep and then used them to help him push his deer in. This greedy bastard. Oh, that's a class move right there. That's something I would not expect in a million years. That's a lot of farms for the mine player though. What is he planning on doing here? Is he going to imp really, really quickly? Oh, of course he did also avoid the deer. Why though? He has a Meso Scout. Oh, he probably tried to use it to open the gate, and then probably got lamed at that point. But yeah, that's good. Eric's now coming up, now he's up to castle. He's going to go Eagles for map control. He's probably not a Siege Tower kind of guy. I've never really seen him use them. But yeah, that was pretty incredible, I'll give him that. Kill player should be able to win this, especially to get a quick TC on the stone. I'm gonna see one on the main gold. No monster, of course, because he's just gonna go 3 TC boom, not even gonna try to get relics. You can't really do it against Mayans, you have too many options. Mayans are not gonna ever win in the late game against Celts, they have to be really fast with either plumes, eagles, or crossbows. Again, there's nothing wrong going crossbows, even if you have a chance to go for plumes. But yeah, all of those, it's gonna be difficult to get even monks out onto the map with. Siege Workshop now up. Well, going up. And the Eagles are basically just taking the map. The problem with the Eagles against things like Light Cav is that the Eagles just don't have the mobility. Light Cav can always outmaneuver them. Without any upgrades, a Light Cav with only the Light Cav upgrading Eagles without any upgrades in Castle Age, the Eagles still win, but it's only just by 1 hit. So if you have Light Cav more maneuverability, you can definitely just out-micro them. And we see a siege tower. This is not expected. This is out of the blue. 18 minutes, a little bit on the late side, but he does have the Eagle Warrior upgrade. He has a decent amount of eagles. He is attacking here just so he doesn't notice right away. Eagles now in. The monk is going to go down, but it's already quick walled off. Now nothing's going to happen. Without arson, he's not going to be able to just start slamming in on this monastery. He's getting heavy plough and our monk coming out just to fend behind the lines. This all walled off except this little bit here, but I'm assuming he's going to just quickly... Oh, it is of course the stone. And that stone's not going to be done anytime soon. So with these eagles now trapped in here, they can actually escape. Just like with towers, you put a siege tower right in the corner of a gate and a wall, or a gate and a gate, not 2 walls. Then you could just ungarrison through the corner into the siege tower. Ooh, that's unfortunate. So what are we going to see now? That seeing a 2 TC eco is going to be fast up. He's going to try to build a forward castle, maybe on the stone, get some plumes out. He does have a villager in here. Siege Workshop. Castle here, maybe? I think he might try and pull off something crazy like that. But castle already coming up for the kill player. Nothing a mine player can do unless they're extremely fast, and I'm not entirely sure how well that's going to happen, especially with that food economy. Yeah. This should be a great number of farms if you wanted to 1 TC, but 2 TC? He's not going to be up fast enough to really have, like, you know, fast trebs take this down. A lot of plumes take down any kill options really early. That feels a little bit of a waste of time. 2 TC is always great. It's always nice to have that little bit. Oh, that was crazy. It's always nice to just have that little bit extra, but yeah, as I'm saying, I'm a little bit dubious on that one. And he goes without any upgrades above Eagle Warrior, just get massacred. So he does have map control, but he doesn't have a monster from what I can see. He's not adding one. So he's not going to have the gold he needs to survive in the late game as Mayans. Again, it's quite... Even if you take the kill player off gold and you've got all the gold, then it's really still difficult to win as Mayans. Oh, that could have been key if he had eagles in there. If he had eagles, he would have been able to just wreck that right away. Castle probably coming up here. Yeah. Showing he's making wood raiders. Interesting. No infantry upgrades. There we go, he's starting to get one. Melkor should be able to see us if he clicks the wood raiders at the end of the Siege Workshop's life. What else could be making the infantry though? I mean, he could always be going full siege. That could definitely work against mines, just enough. Even scorpions, to be fair, are pretty devastating to mines. Imperial Age is going to come in quicker with a much better economy. 30 villager lead for the Celt player. Eagle's going to be useless, the Plume's going to be quite useless having got Bodkin. Yeah, he's going to get to Imperial, get Bracer, maybe he's going to have like 10 Plumes, he's just going to get wrecked by like 5 Old Raiders that have good upgrades. Castle's not vulnerable to Rams at the moment, but of course with the faster Imp, we could always see Trebs. Kipler doesn't have to make Old Raiders all the time. He's already got enough, he's already going to be preparing a bit of siege to tank some armor fire. Yeah, I think 2 TC might have cost this game a little bit, just not too strong of a 1 TC push as always. Plumes is definitely a lot better for that thing. Siege Tower Eagles I would do against decent few saves, possibly Celts, but only ever really scouted the map was bad. Would have preferred something like crossbows. Of course, if you have a castle that's already an insane investment, you don't want to get siege towers, so Plumes usually you just go Rams after. Castle going down, so there's going to be even less Plumes from the Mayan player. So what you can do, your Mayans do not have Plumes against Celts. Just die, of course. 1 tower up to do, deny the gold. Bit of a cheeky move. Of course, it's not going to work. Both extra golds in the back here is just really difficult to be able to do anything about. 3 siege rams, again, difficult for this attack to do anything about. And GG already called. We're now a 1-2 score. And it looks like we're going to be going on to the 4th and final game of the series. Villager High, huge difference. Imperial time, pretty... everything's quite behind there. Feels like mines, they just... You can boom with mines, but you've got to do it. And you can go 1 TC with mines, but you've got to do it. You can't really do this in between, I think. So we're going to go for another 2-minute break. So, yeah. So now we're about to move on to the 4th and final game of this either mini-series. It's either going to be a win for the player we suspect is Miguel, or tiebreaker for Miguel and Melkor. Jumping into the game, I'm just going to call this player Miguel. We're not entirely sure about that, but of course everyone did point out that it probably is. And we see Aztecs vs Vikings. This is an interesting matchup for Melkor vs this Miguel. Looking at these maps really quickly, looking at the Viking map, we see the main gold is maybe not ideal, main stone definitely not ideal, not very good. Second stone outside, so having no stone kind of sucks. Second gold also outside, not good. Don't see another second gold, must be back. Double berries, really strong, nice inside forward deer, of course really motivating, really good thing to get early on. And the second gold back. Having a second gold back is completely okay, it's not the best when you don't have a good main gold. But you could definitely hold, especially with a really fast boom sieve like Vikings, you could have a really nice early imp power spike. And that can really let you just, you know, destroy whatever's blocking your access to gold. As long as you have enough to get by with. Over here we have the Aztec player, his map is okay. He is not dealing with a great main stone, not important for Aztecs really at all. Second gold, I guess, is relatively safe. He can definitely secure the second gold as well. Another second gold in the back, an extra gold in the back, and an extra stone in the back. He has so much in the back. There's only one more extra, which is up here. And the main gold in the back. This is an insanely good map. Especially if your opponent does scout these stones, and then you have surprise stone in the back, which is enough to make a castle with. For your trebs, your conscription, whatever you want. Of course, Aztecs do have siege ram. So, I think it's a pretty done deal already. Brazilian player, of course, expert at luring boars with their Eagle Scouts. And we're just going to see this happening. And of course, Eagle Garrison, maybe to heal. Maybe to scout. It is slower, so I'd be pretty wary about using it, because if the opponent did come with a scout right now, he'd be able to kill it. So, interesting one. The Viking player, of course, can really open scouts and even go knights. They don't have bloodlines, but it's actually okay for them to do with such a good economy. They can run one knight, one stable, making knights while they 3 TC boom. It's really strong. Of course, you don't want to see someone doing that, but it could happen in case he really needs to make them. Against Aztecs, that's probably not going to happen though, unless the Aztec player does specifically go Eagles. We're more likely going to see light cav, of course, then Smurf becomes quite unviable. Especially at this distance, he has to build his monsters quite close, he has to get across this bridge, this gap. Otherwise, he's going to have to make a lot of monks at home to be able to traverse them across this map against light cav. Relics wise, we're looking pretty even. We do have... This one's definitely belongs at this point to the Miguel player. This one almost does as well. This one pretty neutral, kind of between the both players. This one for Melkor and this one between. So I would definitely say that slight relic advantage to the Aztec player here, so we choose to take it. We're seeing a 25+2. That could be a quick smush, although 3 farms is... I don't think 3 farms is probably... He has a lot of wood as well. He's going for quite the smush here if he's going for 1. He's going to have a bit, quite a bit of food. I wonder what he plans to do with it to make a lot of spear, maybe? Maybe 1 monastery, 1 barracks right away. And then followed up with another monastery. So he's clicked up to Castle Age after this player has still in Dark Age. Of course we see the barracks. He has a lot of food. This is a lot of food for someone to have at this point. Even as Vikings before they have the free will barrel kicking. So he's going to go scouts. He's probably just going to go light cav, usual way of playing. I actually believe this is the first game in the series that they played rather than the last. I believe I downloaded them in the wrong order, but it doesn't really matter. Lots of food. Don't know why he isn't getting the lumber camp upgrade right away. Ah, of course, always mill the extra berries in the back. Really nice. If you can get TC on them, that's exceptional as well, but of course these are a little bit trapped, so TC not too likely. Lots of extra room for both players, but of course only the Aztec player has all the extra resources, and he's going Eagles. That's some pretty fast Eagle play. He's not going to be able to cement the map control though against the light cav. And it looks like he is going to be staying the 1 TC for quite some time. He could add a second one soon, but... Is he going to buy 100 wood? Oh no, he's able to get away with it just with lumberjacks. Some 2 TC Eagle play. Of course he is going to be VSing still. Obviously he's still not even castled yet. Pretty late timing from this player. Maybe he had a lot of idols early on. Of course he is going to go like, he's going to add knights. There we go. Knights always beat the Eagle play. He's going to have 3 scouts and he's just going to add knights. He's not going to add any, he's not going to research Lycav. It's not really worth it until he sees knights anyway. But then of course he could just outmaneuver and grab the monks. Not entirely sure what relic count we're going to see in this game. I would actually go for, in this case, not Melkor having the relics. Lots of eagles. As soon as all the monk play is done, all the relics are taken, I think at that point then we're probably going to see a 4 Siege Workshop or something from the Aztec player. And that's going to be pretty huge. Oh, Lycav does come in. Because then you have all these eagles, you have monks from picking up the relics. Making some siege at that point doesn't cost you too much, you need the building to up anyway. So, yeah, I think it would be pretty confident for him to, okay. I'd be pretty confidently okay with him forwarding after the Relic War. But I need to get onto Miguel about this getting house though, if this is him. Only... oh, third TC, here we go. Did he TC a stone? Because... of course not. Many stones here. I would expect to maybe go for 4th TC just to try and beat him in economy right away. Well, from what we could gather, ask Arion, this seems to be Miguel. Decent amount of knights, but I think they're going to be a little bit useless at this point. He does have a lot of like, have a lot of knights combined though, that's like 9 military. That can definitely deal with these eagles no problem, as long as the scout snipes the monk. He does have sanctity though, and it's going to be pretty hard for Lycav to even fight that. And Lycav of course is going to die in the process of trying to pick off the monk. Bring in the knights, use the Lycav after that. Oh, and the monks are going to get sniped. Knight gets converted. Good trade? Not really. The knight's not going to win. But you best take the fight with the knights now, because otherwise he's not going to be able to do anything with them. No monks coming forward, some more knights added, he can bring those forward. He's going to go triple stable. Nice Viking economy. He's going to mass military. Only 3 TC from Miguel, but he's managed to really keep up with the villagers, no problem. Another monk finally coming in, so knights of course not going to be too useful. They do have forging, and they have +1. I guess that does save them a decent hit against those eagles without any attack upgrades. I think it's just going to let the monk convert, because there's nothing you can do about it. No point avoiding and letting it take the relic. You might as well just take the loss, and then the monk can't do anything. Siege Workshop now coming up. The monk might get his faith back sometime soon. Where are Melkor's monks? He isn't making any, he's just going full Castle Age Knights at this point. What? What? Interesting. This player does love his outpost though. +1/+1, we're now getting some skill in the armors and squires to make eagles quite a bit stronger. As the player does have the relic advantage though, he does have 2 and of course 1 and... someone is currently holding a relic. I'm confused, where's the other relic gone? Oh, it's just camping right there. Of course, Aztec players get a lot more gold from the relics. 2 is basically 3. Well, not quite, but similar enough. Some scorpions hiding behind some knights always going to be good against the eagles. Eagles do have high I've lost the ability to speak today, as I per usually do. Eagles high pierce armor pretty good against the scorpions, but they still do their decent damage and there's a mass amount of eagles, which of course will die towards the bit of a mix of the mangonels and the knights. Long swordsmen, here we go. We're going to see some pretty tip-top Viking infantry coming in. Viking economy of course is much better. He does have a 10 villager lead for the Viking player over here. And of course he didn't need to bother getting wheelbarrow handcart. Explains a decent amount of it. What's exactly? That's not 2 is 3, that's 3 is 4. Yeah, the eagle still dies decently quick. Decent amount of room also there, so maybe you could have waited the cavalier, maybe not. But yeah, the longswords are now going to come in, and I can see even just a couple of rams taking out this castle with just this much fighting under it. +2 longswords are coming in, so that's going to be fine. The extra HP, I'm not going to talk about that HP number, but... And the relics are gone. That's quite a lot of gold over a very short period of time for the Aztecs. He does of course have all the extra golds in his back, but again, that's just taking away a good advantage that whatever English is. I don't know, maybe it's reworded differently. For example, like Ethiopian faster Arblast, it's like in some way says what is it, 18% on the tech tree, the advanced tech tree, whatever the hell it is. 18%, but in reality it's what, like 15%, 20%? Well, I mean not in reality, but what it says in the original tech tree, where like all the numbers are like skewed slightly. Spirit Law did a video about this. I'm no expert on this noob stuff. I'm more about getting into the game than tech trees. Aztec player, of course, being faster to imp, but you know, castle wise, he's actually going to be not too far ahead on the trebs. The jaguars are going to be really strong here. It's nice to see jaguars, it's nice to see eagles. But champions from the players, the Vikings, going to be really devastating. Jaguar's a bit slow to use, a bit slow to create. Is the lead Jaguar going to come in? Probably not, he needs to make trebs at this point. He now has 3 castles to make trebs out of though, and Jaguars of course. They will melt Arblast though, more so than champions. There's no Masters Arena on the horizon. There is Demise Red Arena coming up in a bit less than 2 weeks. It's it's Sunday today, so 2 weeks yesterday. It's on a Saturday. It starts Saturday. Sunday's a weekend event. Demise Red Arena. It's basically going to be an 8-player event. After that, it's going to be Vibli Arena Seasonal, which is still most of the works, but it's going to be a nice Vibli official hosted arena event. But as I said, after that, it doesn't seem to be much. Economy expanding over here. Of course, Milk already has a castle over here, so he could do a decent bit of damage if he wanted to. Oh, what's going on there? Something was a little bit broken. So we're going to see 4-1 relics, which actually is better for the Viking player in this case. Champions just get murdered by Jaguars though. Elite Jaguar now coming in. Elite Jaguars have... well, did it have an extra pierce armor? I don't really know. It's been so long since I last properly used them. No, they don't. But that's actually still a hefty attack. I mean, compared to a champion, it's only 1 less. And then, of course, Aztecs Garland Wars on top of that. 1 extra melee armor as well. They are lacking, of course, against Vikings anyway. They're 9 HP behind the champions, but of course the extra damage is huge. Now we see some knights coming in. Cavaliers, you're just not going to make them. I'm a little bit curious here as to what we're going to see from the Viking player if he hasn't already transitioned into Arblast. It seems like he wants to just keep making champions, but they're never going to work against the Jaguars. There we go, he's going to start making Arblast. Bodkin Arrow now coming in ballistics. Siege Workshop's going to go down, but you could always build more. He is Viking economy, of course. 145 villagers for the Aztec player though, a little bit overboomed, 136 for the Viking player, a little bit more appropriate. But of course, Viking player is a bit far from being pop capped, he's losing champions at an alarming rate. And he does not have the Arbalest to back them up. But they're finally about to start coming in. Decent amount of range is already coming up in our castle back here, just in case he needs tanks. Probably just in case he wants to make some Zerks later as well. But when he's already got Elite Jaguar up, that's a problem. Arbalest plus Sea Dram can really do a number on this right now. And then champions, because he's already teched into them, following that up, can probably be a pretty good combination right now, I feel. Arbalest coming in, chemistry coming in. Not enough to deal with the Jaguars yet, but yeah, that's a still really big help towards the champions fighting in this battle. He's definitely going to lose this battle, but he's going to kill a lot more Jaguars than Miguel seems to think he's going to be losing. Okay, it's not one-shotting with one volley. I guess he is. Looking over this one. The Eagles are coming back out to wild grades to have. Fully upgraded Elite Eagles, fully upgraded Elite Jaguars. Red is Melkor, he is the 2K4 arena player. He's kind of all we've got, so. I just need to keep adjusting my chair, it's way out of whack right now. So a lot of Jaguars, a lot of Sea Dram. What is Arbalest Champ going to do about it? It's going to be pretty hard to micro the Arbalest against the champions though. Sorry, against the Jaguars when there's Sea Drams in the mix. Aztecs Scrum won't do anything about the champions though. I'm curious as to why we're not seeing much siege from the Viking player. Pure Onagers could be a massive advantage here. Aztec player can convert them, so maybe Rams, but Onagers might work. A lot of barracks, a lot of ranges, both players pop capped. We're now talking about post-imp armies of Aztec and the Vikings. Jaguars are stronger than I first thought. They're not too expensive either, they're a little bit expensive, but not too. 6 foot 30 gold, yeah, it's very, very similar to a champion. I see players out of gold though. Yeah, he's completely out of gold. I was wondering why he's been selling resources, but yeah. The one relic just not cutting it. He could definitely sell some stone. He has enough Jaguars. He could add another castle maybe and then sell the stone after. The stone still sells for a good price. Which he does. Might get a goal to win the game at that point. Man, these things really tear through the buildings after Garland Wars and Arson. That is insane. Arbalest are missing some armor upgrades. Well, we have Undurin, but they're not SO. And they're never going to be SO if these are your resources. Unless you sell all that stone and then sell some wood and hope you could afford it. Bit of a waste though. I don't see the unique tech on these skirms. Play boarding armor, we're going to see the light cav coming in. I think light cav are going to get shredded. Unless you see Cavalier, I mean these resources are huge. Oh, Aztecs is number 1 Civ in Arena. Then it is a mix of Teutons, Slavs, and Malay. Really depends on who you're playing, but yeah. Vikings is up there, but it's definitely not like top tier. I'm not used to speaking for this long, so I'm gonna like speak more quietly. My throat is like probably ripped at the moment. Still no unique tech. Are we gonna see champions come from the Aztec player? There are better champions, but not by much. No unique tech for the Aztecs apparently. Was it +1 range, +1 attack? Yeah. Oh no, he does have it. He's missing chemistry. Yeah, figured. I think with chemistry, but what does that give him? That gives him 3+8, that's 8 against 5 pierce armor, 3 damage. That's still reasonable damage against the champion with 1+4. And of course these Cavalier are not going to last as well. Sorry, the light cav. I am thinking maybe we could see like Cavalier coming in even without the good upgrades. No bloodlines, no +4 defensive armor. I would still like to see that coming in, just simply because 1.5k gold when you're floating this much food, you know, you might as well make Cavalier instead of light cav. They're going to do a lot more damage. A lot more military buildings coming up though. The map is basically owned by red military buildings. Ram over on the side here is going to be at least occupy some troops. He's still missing chemistry. He is lacking the gold though. So what's he going to do now? Because he is just straight up going to lose all these skirmishers to a mix of champions and a little bit of light cav. I don't see the plan. If he's massing some siege rams, that's great. But they might also get killed by the own siege rams of the Vikings. This is some pretty nice play for a Viking player to be able to take Aztecs. Especially if you just like go champions and take Jaguars for half the game. Yeah, champions just aren't going to cut the mustard. And the gold again, he's out of gold. He's going to have to keep selling. 118 villagers for both players, they both deleted. This map control is crazy. Just looking at the minimap. Red dominated. Champions are still not surviving with the Arbalest behind. Siege Ram's going to be able to open this up. And the champions can only move into their deaths if they try to go out and stop the rams, because the skirmishers are not going to be doing a good job of it. Ring archer armor and they're coming in for arena bot. Finally fully upgrade those Arbalest. And this area over here, I think this is just going to be firmly taken, but there's no castles over here anymore. Where's castles for the Viking player? Oh, he no longer has one, he has no trebs. Oh, that's big. If he still had a castle left, he can even build one, even here. A single treb there would take that out, just simply because he doesn't have the army to do more than these like 4 troops here to try and combat this. If he doesn't have the army to do that, then he doesn't have the army to stop a treb, just taking down that castle on his own. The trade would be phenomenal. That's a lot of light cav, they're gonna get murdered in there. Gold situation, both players completely out of gold. Where did all the gold go for the Viking player? Did he invest heavily into Onager? I'm a bit curious about that one. That is quite a lot of gold for him to disappear when he's not making 2 gold expensive units. Now the Onagers are in, what are the skirmishers going to do? Because of course the siege rams can't get close. Castle is of course going to be stopping that, but it's over here, so... I do think without Trebs though, he's not able to push. He really should focus a little bit heavier on you know, spending his resources and making more effective units for the population rather than just trading well units. Which is a problem with many players and happens in every game. Looking at population, Arena Bot is still basically pop capped. He does have the production to keep that filled anyway. And this player here, who suspends Miguel, has now dropped 150 pop. Couple more launchers and Scrum's gone. Okay. Why is it still garrisoned? Who's he got in there? Quite a bit of ills. What's the... And that is definitely open. Some light cap would be a big problem. Even a single champion actually would raid that economy. There's enough rams now to start working on taking out the ranges. He just really needs to push towards that castle without Trebs. I don't see how he's going to do it easily. Siege workshop, so we're going to see a couple more rams here disrupt this side. We still don't see chemistry. And we see a GG cold. Interesting matchup. Quickly achievements. Viking spam. A lot of those are champions. Heavy on food, but not too much on gold. Not a big problem. Oh, those numbers are too big for me to understand. Pretty slow MP did invest into the long swords in Castle Age and the knights. And eventually did end up with more relics and more relic gold. Massive overboom from Miguel there though. So that ends the score on a 2-2. And that's the end of me tonight, so I hope you all enjoyed coming to the stream. I'm going to have a quick look and see who is live under Twitch. Let's definitely not host that. Let's host demos red.